Thunder Junction time. That's right. Thanks for tuning in. Joy Moss with Bad Boy Gaming, and we're just gonna like go through all the spoilers that we had. Anything from Thunder Junction. All right, there's been a lot. So let's just start it off. Intimidation campaign. 3-drop. I'm gonna give my thoughts, my opinions. I'm not gonna spend too much time on each individual card. We'll be here all day. But let's get up into it. When does that pop up? Hey, excuse me, sir. No thanks. Okay. When Intimidation campaign enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life, and you draw a card. Okay. Whenever you commit a crime, you may return Intimidation campaign to its owner's hand. We've seen a similar card like this. Oh my gosh, I want to say it like was in that era of the Surveil cards. I can't remember what it was called, but someone help me out. So what a crime is, it returns only from the battlefield, targeting opponents, anything they control, and or cards in their graveyards is a crime. So basically targeting any of that stuff is a crime. Targeting opponents, anything they control, and or cards in their graveyards is a crime. Get used to hearing that because you're going to hear the word crime a lot. So just so you know how to commit a crime. I know we're teaching bad things today. Flying Vigilance Ward 2. I do like the whole ward thing though. It's like basically giving a ton of creatures hexproof, but you can get rid of their hexproof at a cost. You know, it's like that. Whenever you commit a crime, Surveil 2, this ability triggers only once each turn. I'm not a big fan of the once each turn, but if it was like multiple times, if you committed a crime, you just think about like stuff like storm effects, you know. I mean, it would be over so quick, it'd be stupid, so there's that. Then we have Bovine Intervention, 2-drop. Destroy target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 2/2 white ox creature token. Why not just exile? It's in white. Doesn't white, I mean, well, if it's tapped, usually it's to destroy. Exile, there's like a little consequence behind it. I guess that's where it is. That's actually not too terrible, you know. And for some wacky decks, you might want to target your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know, that sounds nuts, but it is like that. Familiar Stranger, 3-drop. Whenever you commit a crime, put a +1/+1 counter on Lazav Familiar Stranger. Then you may exile a card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, you may have Lazav become a copy of that card until end of turn. This ability triggers only once each turn. Again, the whole crime. I think we're going through like all the crime cards really quick. That's pretty cool. Let's just continue on. Then we have Jolene. Jolene. Something about Jolene. Okay. Oh, it's a song. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures with power 4 or greater, create a treasure token. It's a 3-drop. A 4/2. With power 4 or greater, create a treasure token. So would that trigger individually whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures? I think it would say whenever you attack with a creature power 4 or greater, create a treasure token, if it was that case. Whenever you attack with 1 or more. Yeah, that doesn't... So you only get it the 1 time, I believe. For 2, sacrifice a treasure, Jolene, plundering Pugilist. Whatever happened to Pug G? It deals 1 damage to any target. All right. There's a lot of uncommons I'm sure we got to go through, but it's not going to take too long. Create X/1/1 red mercenary creature tokens with tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Form a posse. I was going to say pose. Form a posse. Okay. Plan the heist. We're getting into the rares pretty soon. Plan the heist. Uncommon for 4. Sorcery. Surveil 3. If you have no cards in hand, then you get to draw 3 cards. Hold up. What the hell's plot? For 4. You may pay 4. 3 colorless, 1 blue, and exile this card from your hand. Cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. Plot on it as a sorcery. That's cool. So then, wow. Do they have like little plot tokens you could like put aside just as like as a reminder? You know, like a little like post-it note, like, hey man, I got to do this move, you know, down the road. It's just available for me. And then you can like plot on them. Because what if you forget about that? You may pay for an exile this card from your hand. Cast as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. A later turn, yeah. Wow. Okay, that's different. Then we have Infiltrator, 2-drop, 2/3 Menace. Wait till you see some of these creatures we get to. It's stupid. Menace, whenever Satoru, the Infiltrator, and or one or more other non-token creatures enter the battlefield under your control, if none of them are cast or no mana was spent to cast them, draw a card. It's not a spirit though. My friend's got a spirit build, and like that would have been badass if it was for spirits, but it doesn't really matter. It says, oh, it's got to be non-token. One or more other non-token creatures under the battlefield under your control. If none of them are, yeah, okay, not bad, fun card. Token, when you like combine tokens with certain strategies, it can get broken really quick. Here's Double Down. It's a mythic 4-drop. Whenever you cast an outlaw spell, an outlaw, just so you guys know, is assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks or outlaws. Any of those 5, that is considered an outlaw spell. Copies of permanent spells become tokens. Whenever you cast an outlaw spell, copy that spell. But if they're legendary, then it would, yeah. Without that clause, I mean, we've seen so many copies of this shit before. Who cares? Why is it oh, it's an enchantment. Oh, shit. I was just thinking, okay, hold on. Damn, that stays on the battlefield. I mean, that's pretty stupid. I hope they really did their research with this one and went back through all the assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks, and and outlaws. Forget I said that last part. Assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks. I hope they did their research. When I say they, I mean WotC. I mean Hasbro, really. And took a look at all the assassins, mercenaries, pirates, and rogues, and warlocks, and was like, all right, we feel safe putting this card out there. Because, you know, with the wrong one of these subtypes, creature types, I should say, one of these creature types, it can get very broken and out of control. But that's a cool card, though. But again, if they're legendary, they just die. If you're trying to copy it. Rakish Crew. Rakish Crew, am I saying that right? 3-drop. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap. Target creature you control gets +1, +0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Whenever an outlaw you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So like some fun like little aristocrats kind of thing going on there. Man, that's going to stack. It's fun to take newer cards, you know, that drop and like they synergize with older cards and just go like batshit crazy. You know, they can find a lot of use, you know, mostly in like Commander and shit. But I mean, if you go to Vintage, but then it's way too slow for certain things. Anyway, long story short, we're going to go back to the cards. Trained Arnix, 2-drop. Cat Beast Mount. So mount's a thing. Well, it's called Saddle. You know. Yeah. So you can, instead of mounting this Cat Beast, you know, you can saddle it. Whenever Trained Arnix attacks, while saddled, really quick, saddle 2, tap any number of other creatures you control with total power 2 or more. This mount becomes saddled until end of turn. Saddle only as a sorcery. So if you were to saddle this, you'd have to have another creature with power 2 or more to do so and tap it. Attacks while saddled. Whenever trained, okay, it gains first strike until end of turn. Scry 1. I mean, Scry's powerful. I think Surveil's a bit better, but, you know. Whatever. Okay, cool. It's a common. Prismatic Vista's back with some new art. I'm sure we'll see more of that maybe if we can. Scape Shift is back. Here's a new mythic. Wait, is it? What is this? I don't think it's a new mythic. Maybe. Transmutation Font. So some of these cards you can only find in collector boosters. Keep that in mind, please. Like, for instance, I believe Scape Shift's one of those. I might be wrong about that. But some of these are only, like, for collectors, boosters. For 5, Transmutation Font. Tap, create your choice of a blood token, a clue token, or a food token. 3, tap, sacrifice 3 artifact tokens with different names. Search your library for an artifact card. Put it on the battlefield and shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. Well, that's like a reprint, isn't it? Yeah, that's like Vault. These are like Vault cards, which I think the Vault cards are specific only to the collector boosters. So yeah, this card's been done before. I'm surprised they didn't give it like another name. I don't think Transmutation is the OG name of that, but yeah, those are like considered Vault cards. There's Scape Shift after the old reboot. Then we have Notion Thief is mythic. I don't think wasn't Notion Thief. Wasn't that like a rare before? Anyway, let's go to Ultec Matter Weaver. Am I wrong about these vault cards? 3-drop, creature, human, artificer. Whenever you cast a creature spell, choose one. Create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature token. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact token you control. Have these been done before? I want to say that vault symbol. Hold on. Let me find out really quick. All right, learning something new every single day. So here's this is on Wiki. Due to negative feedback on March of the Machine, the Aftermath, the planned epilogue booster pack cards for Outlaws of Thunder Junction are now incorporated as an extra bonus sheet in the regular play boosters. Regular play boosters. Cards from The Big Score have their own set symbol, set code, big, and vault card frame, the 30 mythics. They are standard legal. Here's the sheet so far. We have quite a few to go. So these are all original. These are all mythic now? Well, they're all mythic cards? No way. That's insane. What? There's going to be 30 of them? And they're all unique. Get the hell. Okay, shut the front door. All right, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. I had to look that up. That's crazy. So these cards, I believe, the ones with the star over here, these are unique to play boosters. Or not, these are unique to play boosters. Will they appear also in collectors? I'm not certain. Didn't say that anywhere. But these vault or the big scorecards, those will be found in play boosters. So that's like a good incentive though. I'm glad they did that, I think, because the whole draft idea, when I go to buy my own personal boxes now, I don't get collector boxes because I'm I want to collect, but more so I'm back to where I want to play the game. So I really want as many cards as I can get, so I can play the game. And that's why I've gone back to the draft boosters or play boosters they're called now. I just wanted to throw that out there for anyone. Okay, so here we go. Here's back to Notion Thief and all that good stuff. Ultec Matter Weaver. So I don't know if these were all mythics at one time or not. And because of what happened with the March of the Machine Aftermath, the epilogue crap, people didn't like that. So they just took these 30 cards and decided we're just going to throw them all at mythic. I'm not certain if that's the thing or not. But, I mean, as they come out, we're going to see, the power level. And you know what a mythic looks like most of the time. We can always kind of gauge that. Anyway, whenever you cast a creature spell, choose one. Create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature token. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact token you control. Okay. And then there's Notion Thief. Again, that one. Anything with a star is the reprint. But it was kind of a hard swallow that 30 mythics are going to be brand new. It's kind of out there. Morbid Opportunist, Human Rogue. This is another reprint. This ability triggers only once you turn. I'm not going to go over these ones. There's Mystic Snake. I don't believe Mystic Snake was printed as a mythic. I think it was printed as an uncommon or something. But yeah, there you go. Those are all 4 of these. There's Brazen Borrower. That was a mythic. Desertion, I can't be certain. Counter target spell if an artifact or creature spell is countered this way. Put that card onto the battlefield under your control instead of its owner's graveyard. If an or creature spell is countered this way. Wow. Desertion's pretty nuts. When was that first? I wonder what set that was first printed in. I wonder if we can get some news on that. Let me just take a look. Can we find some info on that? See, some cards, there's no other detail. So is that unique to this set? I have too many questions, all right? I'm not here to spit the gospel, all right? I'm here to just kind of cover spoilers and whatnot, but I don't know 20,000 cards individual. I probably know about 18,000 though. There's Brazen Borrow getting the old reprint. Port Razor, I know that's a reprint for sure. And there's Desert, the Land Desert. Tap, add a colorless. You'd think they'd just make that a regular one, but no. Desert deals 1 damage to any target attacking creature. Activate only during the end of combat step. There are some new deserts also, a full cycle. I think they're all commons. But they deal 1 damage. You'll see. We'll go over that when we get to it. That's cool, though. Here's Grindstone, like that. And Dust Bowl, both reprints. These are, without a doubt, exclusive just to the Commander. Not Commander. These are exclusive just to the collector boxes. But I wonder if you could also maybe find them in those sample collector packs inside of Commander deck boxes. Hope I'm not confusing anyone. It's a curiosity there. But yeah, there's Grindstone and Dust Bowl. Sacrificial land, destroy target, non-basic land. Yep, that's been around. That was an uncommon before, I think. Someone's like, that's a brand new card. There's Grindstone. Target player mills 2 cards. Are these brand new? Gosh, they might be. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Okay, if there's Path to Exile. So no, I don't believe so. Yeah, this might be a commander thing. It looks like a commander thing. There's Ruthless Lawbringer. When Ruthless Law... Oh, I like the cowboy hat. You see that? That's fun, huh? When Ruthless Lawbringer enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent. I mean, that hopefully that's like a token creature. We'll see. I mean, unless you really need to get rid of that permanent, though. I mean, it could be worth whatever the cost is, I would assume. Honest Rutstain. I wanted to say something else. You all know what it is. 3-drop. Human Warlock. When Honest Rootstain enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If this was printed 10 years ago, this would be a rare. I'm just saying. Okay. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That's already a pretty legit little ability. It's 3 only. It's a 3/2. And then creature spells you cast cost 1. That's nutty, man. For uncommon, it's just power. Power, man. Here is the key to the vault. There you go. 2-drop legendary artifact equipment. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library. Deals combat damage to a player, look at the top. Okay. You may exile a non-land card from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Man, there's going to come a point where there's, because I know there's like another 2 or 3 like cards in this set already where you don't have to pay the mana cost. It's going to become like in 10 years from now, everything's going to be, you're going to have an entire deck built around not paying mana cost. Just everything's going to be cheating to play. It's insanity, but there's Key to the Vault. Scorching Shot and Frontier Seeker. 2 more uncommons for us. Scorching Shot deals 5 damage to target creature. Sure. 2-drop. It's not bad, but, you know, you can't just, like... Wait, hold on. Wasn't Lava Axe... Wasn't that only for a creature? But I think it cost 5. It would deal 5 damage. Remember Lava Axe from back in the day? I don't know if that was target creature or player. I think it was just creature. I just learned something new. It's target player for Lava Axe. However, they updated it with 2019, so it's Lava Axe is not only target player, but it's target player or planeswalker now. That's something. Stuff like that can get really confusing if the text is not on the card, you know, and you try to convince someone if you're playing with an OG Lava Axe, like, no, I just dealt 5 damage to your planeswalker, but on the card it only says target player. Like, how do you, like, make that argument without being like, okay, Google, you know, and go on there. There's Frontier Seeker. Enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a mountain creature card or a plains card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. 2/1 for the Human Scout Boy. Any spirits in this build? I don't know. Armored Armadillo and Holy Cow. A couple commons. I'm just going to leave them on the screen for a minute. You never know. Commons, depending on them, they could get out of control. Ward 1, Armored Armadillo. Or X's is toughness. I could see that being a little silly. Ward 1. What a nice little boost. And there's Ox Angel. Flash Flying. When Holy Cow enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and scry 1. 5 years ago, it would have been rare. It's stupid. It's an Ox and an Angel with flying. My goodness. A flying Ox. No one's seen that coming. There's Quill Charger. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to leave this here for like a split second. Gorgon Warlock. A lot going on there. Looks like a snake on her back or something. Serpents. Okay. Whenever you commit a crime, target creature you control gains your choice of menace or lifelink until end of turn. That's cool. A little lifelink bonus. Or menace to punch through and finish. Something to keep you alive and something to watch your opponent die. Quill Charger. While saddled, it gets +1/+2 and gains menace until end of turn. Tip any number of... I just don't... Saddle seems a little not so strong. It seems that, like, it doesn't seem as strong as it could be. I don't know. Or like as strong as they intended. I almost feel like they nerfed it in the process of creating saddles. It seems that way. Here's a Vile Smasher, Gleeful Grenader, and Cack Tarantula for 6. This would have been a freaking rare 10 years ago. Cack Tarantula. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a desert. It's got reach. It's a 6/5. Whenever Cack Tarantula becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Would have been a rare back in the day. But it's a 6/5. A lot of powerful creatures you're going to see really quick. We're getting there. There's a battlefield under your control. Vile Smasher, Gleeful Grenadier. Is it Grenadier? Can we just say Grenader? He's throwing grenades, right? Okay. Deals 1 damage to target opponent. 3, 2. Sure. This is a good rare. This is a Colossal Rattleworm. Probably one of the best rares, creature-wise, in the entire set. At least we have a lot of cards that still spoil, but to my knowledge, from what I've seen so far, this one's pretty dope. Colossal Rattleworm. Has flash as long as you control a desert. Mind you, it's a 6/5. It's a 4-drop with trample. That alone right there, holy crap. Who remembers, what was it called? Veriflex or Verivix or some crap. It was a 6-drop blue, 6/6. It was a rare. That's all it was. I already said it. 6-drop, 6/6, blue, rare. Nothing more to it. That was a rare. This is a rare. Holy crap. This would have been like a mythic. Even like 4 years ago, this would have been a mythic. But they have to keep making stuff stronger. And trample and all this stuff. For 2, exile Colossal Rattleworm from your graveyard. Search your library. I hate saying library. I want to say it fast. Library. Library, it comes out. If you say it quickly. If you say it slow, you sound silly. Library. I don't want to be so specific. I'm going to start saying library so people comment. It's library from now on. Moving forward. Thank you. Search your library for a desert card. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. What a nice little bonus. So when that sucker does enter the battlefield, you also get to deal 1 damage if it's from the new cycle. Make your own luck. 5-drop. This one's interesting. Pay attention. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may exile a non-land card from among them. If you do, it becomes plotted. Plotted means you may cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. Put the rest into your hand. That's stupid. So your next turn you could do that even, right? That's like you can smash down an Emrakul or something. Uh-huh. Does it have to be a creature? Exile non-land card. My goodness, man. What are they doing? Slick Shot Lockpicker. And the old Violent Cacophony. I like Cacophony name. It's fun. 4-drop, 2/3 flying. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Karum, Violent Cacophony, and draw a card. Slick Shot over here, Human Rogue. Enters the battlefield. Target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn, which means you may cast that card from your graveyard for its flashback cost and exile it. It's got plot 3 on it. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. And then, with plot 3. So you can just, do this later on without paying its mana cost. Like, I think I'm just going to chill. But can you pay that plot cost as an instant? I know it says to cast it, you can only cast it as a sorcery, but can you pay that plot cost? Oh, no, wait, hold on. Yeah, can you? You may and exile this card from your hand. Cast it? Yeah, I think you... Right? I think you can. So if you don't end up... Like, let's say you're playing blue control and you don't want to counter something, or maybe you don't have any counters in your hand, but or maybe you do have a counter, you're waiting for your opponent to do something. They don't do that. So then at your opponent's end step, then you go ahead and plot 3 because you kept, your mana open. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting. Final Showdown. Here's some new kind of cards that are just stupid, dude. Final Showdown, so 1-drop. However, it's got that plus right here, guys. Spree. This is a new mechanic, really neat. I think it's really neat. I think it's a little OP, if you ask me. Spree. Choose 1 or more additional costs. Choose 1 or more. My question is, can you choose it multiple times? So let's say I had 10 mana. Can I pay this twice, you would not need to pay this more than once, one instance of it. But all creatures lose all abilities until end of turn. Choose a... Hold on. Indestructible is an ability, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? I believe so. Choose a creature you control that gains indestructible until end of turn. I guess it would go based on the stack of how you paid these. Because let's say you were to +1, all creatures lose all abilities until end of turn. Hear me out. All creatures lose all abilities until end of turn. But then you do the other +1, so you pay another one, Choose a creature you control that gains indestructible until end of turn. But what if you were to do this one first? What if you're just a wacko? And you're like, I'm going to choose a creature I control that gains indestructible until end of turn. Immediately following that, then you won all creatures lose all, right? But then you do destroy all creatures. So that indestructibility would go away, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's why they wrote the card out the way they did. All creatures lose all abilities till end of turn. So that would... Whoosh. It has to go by stack effects, I would imagine, right? It goes by the stack. It has to. Choose a creature you control. It gains indestructible end of turn, and then destroy all creatures. So you'd go in that order. It would make sense. And then that way, your creature remains unscathed. Stoneforge Mystic got the old reprint. Welcome aboard. Torpor Orb. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. Yeah, all these cards, these Vault ones, I was wrong. These are all unique to this set. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. My dragon deck's sad. That's a pretty cool card. That is a really cool card. I mean, that's going to be a sick-ass sideboard card in Modern, without a freaking doubt. I'll tell you that. At least that much. All right, here's Vaultborn Tyrant, 7-drop. Dinosaur. Creature Dinosaur, Trample. This is so stupid. Now, it is a 7-drop, though. If it was a 6-drop, I would be like, dude, stop it. But they're getting so close. So close to, like, this would be a 6-drop. Whenever it's not a mythic, or it's not a legendary. Tyrant or another creature with power 4 or greater enter the battlefield under your control. You gain 3 life and draw a card. When Vaultborn Tyrant dies, if it's not a token, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's an artifact that doesn't do its other types. I guess they gave it like another way to die. So it comes back, but there's like a few more options, a few more different cards that could take it out. So like, they made it like an artifact. There's that. But that's pretty stupid. Fun card, 7-drop. Cool finisher. Then we got Mana Drain and Clear Shot. There you have it. These both are legit. It's great. Clear Shot. The Prosperity Post. Mana Drain's a reprint, I know that, but it's Clear Shot is too. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 till end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, we've seen that, I think. Wasn't that around like in like Ixalan block, I think? Mana Drain, we all know about that. Cool to see that. Oko Thief of Crowns is a back jack. Look at all these subsets within one set. This is the 4th, well, this is Commander here, but this is the 4th different set symbol we've seen. Pretty nuts. Here's Oko Thief of Crowns. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. That's all I can say about that. Welcome back. Welcome back, Oko. You're not going to be legal in Standard, though. I just don't see it happening. I'm sorry. Yeah, about that. Let's do some research. All right, so here's the 101. Here's the scoop. These will be appearing in play boosters as well as collector boosters. Collector boosters will have foils, I think only foils, I believe. Play boosters will contain, there's one in every single play booster, from what I understand. You can get the foil as well in play boosters. Very interesting. Okay, so there you have it. Now we are a little up to date, and they are called not wanted posters or something else. All right, they're called breaking news. So breaking news cards. There you have it. Here's Gonti. This is like one of the new commanders for commander decks. Holy Smother and Tithe. Aetherborn Rogue. Whoa, boy. Spells you cast, but don't own. Cost 1 less to cast. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, look at the top card of that player's library. then exile it face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. Don't forget the static ability. One less colorless to play it, or to cast it. Not bad. Interesting card, interesting concept. Yuma, Proud Protector, and Stella. This spell costs one less to cast. This spell costs one less to cast for each land card in your graveyard. Ah, yes. Dang, I mean, he is an 8-drop. Whenever Yuma, Proud Protector, enters the battlefield or attacks, you may sacrifice a land if you do draw a card. Unfortunately, they didn't put him in blue or black, where you can just, like, mill the shit out of yourself, you know? But there's quite a bit of artifacts that do that, plus some other stuff along the ways. But, I mean, how much more easy would that be if it was in blue or black to abuse the living shit out of Proud Protector? I'm just saying. Whenever Yuma, Proud Protector enters the battlefield or attacks, you may sacrifice a land. If you do draw a card, whenever a desert card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, create a 4/2 green plant warrior creature token with reach. I think because of its limitations in the color pie, it's not going to be the most used and abused out there, but still a really cool card. Maybe throw it in your 99 or something. I don't know. Nah, probably not. Yeah, maybe. And you like a multi-color, like a 5-color. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Stella Lee wild card. Still cool. I might be underestimating its power. Sometimes I do that. 3-drop. Human Rogue. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile the top card of your library until the end of turn. And your next turn, you may play that card. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Activate only if you cast 3 or more spells this turn. Okay, that's all. That's what we get so far. Unfortunate accident. Here's that spree again. Choose one or more additional costs. So there it breaks it down. Additional costs. Okay, spree. So it's a 1-drop. For 3, destroy target creature. And you have to choose one mode. You can't just play this for the 1-drop and do nothing. You actually have to choose one or more. So for anyone thinking they're going to get away with just playing this, you know, for whatever reason, and it's not doing the other modes on it, or even one of the modes, you can't do that. It's plus 2 colors in a swamp, destroy target creature. +1, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Looks like you got a... I was going to say, looks like you got a train ridden on you. Looks like you've got a train to catch. Okay. Hard Bristle Bandit, 2-dropper, 1/1. Add 1 mana of any color. Little mana dork, but it's a 2-er. Whenever you commit a crime, untap Hard Bristle Bandit. This ability triggers only once each turn. See? Again, you can't really abuse that infinite. If you could, holy crap, would that be an infinite combo? Real freaking easy. Can only abuse it once, you know, unfortunately. Not even abused. Free Strider Lookout, 3-drop Human Rogue Reach. Whenever you commit a crime, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability triggers only once each turn. All of them. If it's got a crime on them, only once each turn. I know, it's sad, sad, sad world we live in. Here's Homestead Vehicle. I like that. That's fun. Mobile Homestead has haste as long as you control a mount. I think the mount mechanic's pretty lame. I'm just saying. Whenever Mobile Homestead attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it on the battlefield tab. Crew for 2. So not only does you got to do this, crew and mount have the same like way to go about benefiting, or like, no, not even that. They both have, you have to tap creatures with power or whatever. I'm not sure I like the whole mount thing, man. I'm just throwing it out there. Here's a Herd Whisperer, 2-drop, 3/2. Human Druid, as long as it's your turn, mounts and vehicles you control have hexproof. Whenever a mount or vehicle you control attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It just seems underwhelming to me. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Here's Jace the Awkward. Can we stick with Jace the Awkward? Oh, man, he's a 2-drop. Sometimes they're either really good or they really suck if they're a 2-drop Planeswalker. Here we go. For real. They're either really good or they really suck. All right. Jace, hit me with your best shot. You can't cast a spell during your first, second, or third turns of the game. Okay. So it's +1 draw. Okay. You got looting, draw a card, then discard a card for +1. Another +1, you may exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your hand. If you do, it becomes plotted, so then you can use it again, I guess, in your next turn. So that's kind of fun. Until end of turn, whenever you cast a spell, copy it, you may choose new targets for the copy. I think this Jace is pretty dope. He is limited. He is in just 2 blue. I mean, you're going... At least it's not 3 blue. If it was 3 blue, that'd be pretty narrow. But 2 blue is not the worst. You can still splash a color in here. And of course, I'm speaking standard-wise, I mean, probably do 3 drop, or 3 colors as well. But yeah, 3 loyalty on him. I think this Jace is going to be a bit more impactful than past 2 drop. There's exceptions to that, of course. Planeswalkers. Gifts of the Hellraiser, 5 drop. Ward 2 and pay 2 life. Wait, is it Ward 2? No, it doesn't say or. So Ward 2, so you got to pay 2 colors and pay 2 life. And just to target Gissa. Gissa's always been a pretty powerful card. Skeletons and zombies you control get +1/+1 and have menace. Whenever you commit a crime, create 2 tap, 2/2 blue and black zombie rogue creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Again, you would be able to abuse the shit out of it, but you only get 2 of those once each turn. Okay. Not bad. 4/4. Not bad. Rakdos the Muscle, 5-dropper. Flying and trample. Whenever you sacrifice another creature, exile cards equal to its mana value from the top of target player's libraries. Until your next turn. Until your next end step, you may play those cards, and mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. Sacrifice another creature, Rakdos the Muscle, gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it, activate it only once each turn. Again, that once each turn. But that... Sacrifice another creature... Oh, wait. Oh, they don't want you being able to abuse the sack outlet. I get it. Okay. So that's why. Otherwise, that'd be sick. To have like a sack outlet built in to this powerhouse already, that would be a bit too much. So yeah, again, stupid busted card. This card would have just dominated tournaments printed 10 years ago. Just throwing it out there. Vrosco the Silencer, 3-drop. Gorgon Assassin, Death Touch. Whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, you may pay 1. If you do, return that card. Whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, you may pay 1. If you do, return that card to the battlefield tapped under your control. It's a treasure artifact with tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color, and it loses all their abilities. That's not too bad. I like the old Gorgon. The old Gorgon. Kellen the Kid. What's up, buddy? Flying and lifelink, 3-drop. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you may cast a permanent spell with equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost. If you do, you may put a land card from your hand out of that battlefield. Again, all about like what kind of deck are you building around, This would be a very sick one. If you don't plan, if you have lower, wait, hold on, permanent spell with equal or lesser. Forget that last part I just said before that. But yeah, whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. So if your deck is built around just casting stuff from your graveyard or maybe from exile or whatever the case may be, I mean, this card's for you. There you go, Kellen. Here is Annie, Flash the Veteran, 6-drop. There's a battlefield. If you cast it, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Does that flash? One more time, I'm going to say that. Whenever Annie Flash becomes tapped, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Instead of just drawing a card, they do this whole exile thing, It's like the new thing they've been doing for the last 5-6 years. It came in really heavy the last few years, though. But that's not bad. All right, Tiny Bones joins up. 1-dropper, legendary enchantment. We all like Tiny Bones. Whenever Tiny Bones joins up, enters the battlefield, any number of target players each discard a card. Any number. That's cool. Or you can even do it to yourself. Do it as many as you want. Legendary enchantment. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, any number of target players each mill a card and lose 1 life. That would be fun to build around. It is a legendary enchantment for a reason. Use the crap out of that. We got Great Train Heist, 1-drop. Spree, so you can choose multiple modes here. Untap all creatures you control. If it's your combat phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain first strike until end of turn. Or choose target opponent. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to that player this turn, create a tapped treasure token. I mean, that could get nutty. You know, you got a lot of mana at your disposal. You can get busted. Gitrog, they always make Gitrog pretty dope. Ravenous Ride. Here we go. 5-drop. Frog Horror Mount. 6/5. Trample and Haste for Gitrog. Boy, whenever the Gitrog Ravenous Ride deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a creature that's saddled at this turn. If you do, draw X cards. Then put up to X land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. It's the Gitrog monster. It's the busted monster. It's the broken monster. Gitrog's still a powerhouse. Only saddle 1. That's pretty slick. I like it. All right. Olivia, Opulent Outlaw over here. Flying and lifelink 3/3. Whenever one or more outlaws you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Pretty cut and dry. And then Slick Shot Show Off. Bird Wizard, Flying Haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Slick Shot Show Off gets +2/+0 on the turn. Plot for Deuce. Okay, remember, plot, you can pay 2, exile it, you can play it later. Sorcery speed. Okay. For free. For free. Interesting. And then, yeah, we got some other cards here. Amada the Horde Master. Not sure what's going on with this one. Whenever you commit a crime, create a tap treasure token. This ability triggers only once you turn. Create a 4/4 red scorpion dragon creature token with flying and haste. Only as a sorcery. There's that. Vraska joins up, and Fortune Loyal Steed. When Vraska joins up, enter the battlefield, put a death touch counter on each creature you control. Whenever a legendary creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. I do like that one. Death touch counter on each creature you control. I like that. That's pretty good. That's a pretty cool. I like this this cycle. I wonder how many legendary enchantments we're gonna see. Is it a cycle? I don't know. I mean, we saw one in black up there for the Tiny Bones dude. Now we're seeing Vraska over here again, black, but it is green as well. Fortune Loyal Steed enters the battlefield. Scry 2. When it attacks while saddled, I don't like that. I don't like that. Whenever Fortune attacks while saddled, it can attack. It doesn't have to be saddled, just so you know. Which I hope you understand that about this. You just get like an extra perk if it's saddled. Like for instance, the Gitrog, the Gitrog boy. With saddled, hold on. Whenever Fortune attacks while saddled, at end of combat, exile it, and up to one creature that's saddled this turn, and then return those cards to the battlefield of their own control. Well, that's cool. Just a little saddle one. Okay, sure. Sorcery, Insatiable Avarice. 1-drop Spree. Search your library for a card, then shuffle and put that card on top. Really? Tutor, huh? Target player draws 3 cards and loses 3 life. Really? That's a powerful card. Wow. So you got like a built-in tutor that can like just draw you 3 cards, and in the same process, like in the same instance, draw that card you tutored. It's pretty stupid. Looks like we have a bunch of uncommons and stuff. Here's the deserts I was talking about. When Festering Gulch enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target opponent. Yeah, they are tap lands. Tap lands that deal 1 damage to your opponent. Spire Bluff Canal, welcome back. So we're probably going to see that whole cycle again. They really are making lands cheaper these days, I'll tell you that. By all the reprints, there's some artwork for these new deserts. I mean, that's probably going to wrap it up here. Inspiring Vantage, you can only expect to see Concealed Courtyard, anything, from this cycle. Botanical Sanctum. There's Blooming Marsh. There's the Flats. Duelist of the Mind, Flying and Vigilance. Duelist of the Mind's power is equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. Whenever you commit a crime, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Oh. I think that card sucks. Is that just me? I think that card sucks. I don't know why. I didn't even read this last part until now, but I'm like, because like the weird like artwork on it, like that's like an actual human's face. So the world champion designed this card. Maybe I'm not saying it's awful. Flying Vigilance. Duelist of the Mind's power is equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. Whenever you commit a crime, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This will be drawn. I can see how it could be abused for sure. But it is definitely nerfed with that crime ability in there. But I could see. I mean, you got to really have a freaking deck that just allows you to cycle through your freaking cards. Anything that says drawing an ass load of cards, whether it's you draw a card, discard a card, draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards, any of that kind of crap that goes into it. I mean, yeah, you're gonna want to use and abuse that. So this will be like a black-red kind of build. Human Advisor. They wouldn't even give him the wizard. I know. Here's Hell to Pay. Hell to Pay deals X damage to any target creature. Create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to that creature this turn. Wow. So if it's a 1/1 you're targeting, well, you can target your own creature then, right? Yeah. Create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to the amount of... I could see that just being abused. But I mean, maybe. Maybe not. That seems like a powerful spell, though. It is sorcery, not instant, guys. Sorry about your luck. Thoughtseize came back. Crime and Punishment. Is that a new one? Maybe, I don't know. Thoughtseize is back, though. Put target or enchantment card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield of your control. That's a 5-drop? Okay. I think, well, we've seen this before. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment. Mana value X. Have we? Maybe we haven't seen this before. Is that a new one? I think that might be a new one that they threw in the mix. Why is it? I don't feel Crime and Punishment. I don't know. Nexus of Becoming an Oko the Ringleader. Oh, yes. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, draw a card. Nexus of Becoming. Not bad. Then you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand. If you do, create a token that's a copy of the exile card, except a 3/3 Golem artifact creature in addition to its other types. For 6, that's an... You know those cards that were like back in the day? You had to like what was it? It's a 4-drop artifact, and then you can pay 4, tap it, and then draw a card. This thing just blows that to living, like blows it out of the water. Blows it out the water. If you do create a token that's a copy of exiled card, except it's a 3/3 Golem artifact creature, in addition to its other types. You gotta exile me. This is gonna go really good in those like quick artifact builds, I feel. Where you can just exploit your like little 0 artifacts or 1 artifact, like for example, like an Ornithopter, and just instead of playing it, just drop this, It's all right, exile. But the fact, if you do create a token that's a copy of the exile card, you gotta exile it though. Then you may exile. I could see this getting abused, Even in a control build. Let's say you're not even like, who cares about the last part? Just drawing an additional card. Then you may, at the beginning of your combat, on your turn, draw a card. Just that right there is enough for me to like want to play this in a control shell. I'm just saying. An extra card draw every single freaking turn. Okay. Help it hasten the victory. That's it. Oko the Ringleader, 4-drop. All right, I wanted to read this one. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Oko the Ringleader becomes a copy of up to 1 target creature you control until end of turn, except he has hexproof. Becomes a copy of up to 1 target creature. Okay. It has to be a creature you control, though. It does have hexproof. Draw 2 cards. If you've committed a crime this turn, discard a card. Otherwise, discard 2 cards. So if you don't commit a crime, you got to discard 2. -1, create a 3/3 green elk creature token. This is like what? The nerfed version of Oko, Thief of Crowns. For each other non-land permanent you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. if it would have went on to say, accept the token, or accept the copy's not legendary, that would have been like busted. That's still pretty good, though. I mean, this is definitely going to see play. Oko, the ringleader, they did him pretty good. That's a good design. I like. More swords. Just when you thought the cycle was complete. I don't think so, Billy. Tiny Bones, the pickpocket. One drop. Skeleton Rogue. Death touch. Whenever Tiny Bones pickpocket deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target non-land permanent card from that player's graveyard. And mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. That's dope. Rogue. Rogues you control are unblockable. Skeleton Rogue. That's a pretty cool card. Okay. Sword of Wealth and Power. 3-drop. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from instants and from sorceries. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from instants and from sorceries. That's pretty scary. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose. This sword seems pretty busted. That seems like a powerhouse, man. That seems like one of the better swords. Like, if I had to rate where this would drop in the sword list, I'd say within 2 years of time and seeing tournament play, it would probably be in the top 5. Maybe 4. All right. Fibbolth, Lost on the Range. You got Ward 2. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. The top card of your library has plot. The plot cost is equal to its mana cost. You may plot non-land cards from the top of your library. All right. I think that's it. And then here's just some lands here. The rest are going to be lands to close it out, I would assume. That's it. That's all she wrote. Yep. All right. Well, there is that. Thoughts? If you made it this far in the video, say, Joey, I truly do enjoy your videos. Appreciate you. And I know you made it this far in the video, but that is pretty cool, man. A lot of really badass spoilers. You guys know I'm getting back in Arena really soon, so this will probably be the set I do it in. Not probably, it will be. All right. Let me know your thoughts. What cards do you like? What cards do you not like? Do you like the new mechanics? Are you glad they're doing more of this stuff where they're just trying to add a little bit of value, like they're just sprinkling it on top? You know, oh, you don't pull the mythic from the set you want? Well, maybe you pull the mythic from the set that, we put in there. Do you like all this? Is it too much going on here? I think we can all agree the whole money push with the whole epilogue set, that was just a money grab. It was stupid as shit. Here's a subset, didn't throw them in the main set. I think it's good they got rid of that and just threw them in the main because, I think epilogue sold like shit. Yeah. Even though they tried pushing it with some powerhouses, it still sold like shit. Let me hear your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thanks.